the last time I went, I didn't realize how much you fall.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm not great at snowboarding.
No.
And I kind of forgot that, like, you know, the learning curve where if you're not consistently out like doing that, it's just like skateboarding where you're going to fall a lot if you're not used to doing it. So the last time I went, I took a beating. So I'm kind of like psyching myself up like, okay, I'm gonna get some bruises.
It took me, I go maybe twice a year for the past like 4 years.
Yeah.
I went for the first time when I was 15 and nobody told me that you have to like kind of serpentine your way down the mountain.
Carve it, back and forth.
Dude, I just went straight down. I caught a little front edge. I flipped. I broke 3 of my what are the floating ribs in the back.
What?
And like if you have that much pain in your ribs and you have like that wind knocked out of you, my first instinct was like, I've broken a rib. It's punctured my lung. I'm gonna die on this mountain. It was. I didn't go again for like 8 years.
Well, yeah, you get traumatized, especially that young. That's exactly, dude. Your snowboard story reflects exactly almost the same age I was when I first went skiing, and that almost happened to me. I did not break ribs, but what happened to me, excuse me, was I went straight down because my dad's like, we don't need to pay for lessons.
What?
Why would you pay for lessons?
Dude, skiing's so hard. You need lessons.
Oh, I know. Well, I know you do.
Right,
after
go.
I was going straight down like Eddie the Eagle, like freaking straight down, and I'm like gaining speed, and then I try to start to turn because that's what I was told is you turn a little bit and then it cuts into the snow. But I was going so fast that I didn't have the skill set or the knowledge to really know how to actually stop. And dude, I had to force myself to fall because I was gaining so much speed. Oh, no. And I started somersaulting down the mountain until I ended up in one of those fences, those orange.
No way.
Yeah.
You actually fell into a fence.
I fell into one of those fences. It actually stopped me. It actually worked.
The same day that I went snowboarding, I clearly wasn't doing well throughout the day before the rib thing happened. And my other friends were skiing. So they're like, maybe this is a little bit more your speed. Yeah. So I put them on at like the bottom of the hill, usually where they have like the little food cabins or whatever there. Yeah. At the lodges. Food cabin. Like I don't know nice things. The lodge.
That's like going to a mall and calling a food court like
the restaurant hall.
Yeah, one of those hotel fridges. You just go there and you get some food. Yeah.
Sorry, my white trash is showing.
So dude, I'm from Kansas. I'm feeling you big on all this.
I mean, I'm Ohio. There's no mountains. Like, oh no. Even the hill that I fell down was like 20 feet. Like, it's not big.
Everybody else would be like, dude, that's not a.
Not at all. But there was just like a slight horizon.
Right.
I put on the skis like on a bench downstairs. I was like, let me just like try them on. My friend and I had the same shoe size. Yeah. So we're like, oh, I'll just try them on. And I just stood up in them and I started to slide backwards down towards the lodge. And I had no clue even what to do, and I slid so far I hit the lodge. Like, you know, in a cartoon when like a skier will like go through the building and it's like
it's that imprint.
Yeah, it was exactly that had I not gone through the wall.
Dude,
it was so fucking embarrassing. I haven't touched a ski since.
Yeah, I right after that happened, I ended up on the fence. They had to get one of those snowmobiles, those ambulance snowmobiles to come. Dude, it was so embarrassing. And then I rode down on the back of the snowmobile, and right after that, I wasn't drinking enough water and I got altitude sickness and I started throwing up the rest of the night. So I literally got in that accident. And so my first night, like skiing in Denver, I was like, I don't think I'm meant to be a skier. I'm like, I'm a snowboarder. That's a sign that I'm a snowboarder.
And that you can survive at least.
Yeah. And that's the only time I've been skiing is that one time.
Yeah. I don't know how you people do it. I don't know
reason.
how you rich white people do it.
How do you rich white people do it?
How do you do it? It's
just
also
another
so
thing.
Expensive. It's like $120 a day.
Yeah, I borrowed gear from a buddy, but I still need to rent a board and then the pass, and I'm like expecting. I'm like, all right, I don't go ever, so I'm like, okay, it's gonna be a little bit of money.
Dude, I went a couple of weeks ago, and my roommate, he goes all the time, and he has like an extra board, and we're the same shoe size and everything, so I use his boots and all that. We get there, the first time going down the hill, my binding completely snaps off, and I fall like 30 feet down the hill. Not like in terrible pain, but I take it to the shop or whatever, and the dude was like, is this your board? And I was like, no, it's my friend's. He was like, you need a new friend. Like everything on this board is like a fixed piece. Yeah, he's like, nothing is original to it. And I was like, is it safe to go on? He was like, I'll probably see you again.
Wow.
I went down the rest of the day and nothing happened, thankfully. But like the dude was like, Not a regular.
Yeah. Though they can tell. I mean, you can also tell when people who are really advanced are going around you, and you can, even though it's so loud, you can't hear them huffing. You know that the way that they're moving around you is like, this freaking idiot.
Oh, absolutely. You always know. You always
feel
know,
judged pretty easily.
Yeah, there's always some asshole wearing like a basketball jersey, like he doesn't get cold on the mountain.
Yeah, he's sleeveless. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like they're too comfortable.
Yeah.
I'm bundled up with so many layers, mostly for padding.
Yeah, he has a GoPro. He's like doing tricks like on his way down.
It's always some jackass like that.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited. Did you go sledding a lot as a kid in Ohio?
A little bit.
I loved going sledding in the winter in Kansas.
Dude, I love it too. My friends and I sometimes, whenever we go to like Big Bear or something in the wintertime, like if we don't go snowboarding or skiing, we'll like rent, like you can buy like a $5 plastic sled, and then you just put it on the snow, get a running start, jump on it, slide down a hill.
Just go for it.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, dude.
You know what kids don't do anymore? Shovel snow out of driveways. Did you do that at all?
Oh yeah, that's how I made money certain winters. Yeah.
My grandpa is he's 68 now, and he lives in Columbus, Ohio.
Right.
Every winter, he's like, I wait for kids to come, like, ask to shovel my driveway. Nobody ever does it, so he has to do it himself.
Yeah, I wonder if that's the people who do it now. You know, like jobs like websites like TaskRabbit. Do you know those?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's like where it's all gone to.
That's genius.
You know what I mean? Like that would be, I think that would be the only place now, because I think that the parents are a little bit more guarded with their kids now, where they're like, you're not knocking on a stranger's door to ask them if you want to shovel their driveway.
I think it's 50-50. It could be that, or is it just kids being lazy, man?
Could be that too. Yeah.
Do you remember, we used to like be a pedophile's dream, man. Do you remember like usually around holiday time they would have like the catalogs that you would go door to door and try to sell things, and people would just be like, yeah, come in, let's talk about it.
I sold candy bars all the time.
Yeah,
as a kid.
right?
Like for whether it was new playground equipment, I don't know if it went to that or where it ended up going. I don't think we ever really knew where that money was going for the
money
stuff that we
laundering
sold.
For sure.
Oh yeah, it was just like, here's this bunch of cash that I just collected from around the neighborhood, and it's untraceable, so there you go, school, we're just gonna trust you now.
And like the biggest reward was like, you get a limo ride to McDonald's for lunch or something. Yeah,
it made like no sense, but we're like, I have to do this.
I have to. You know, I've never been in a limo. I have no idea what a limo looks like on the inside.
Really?
No clue.
Okay, here's what I'll say. You have been in nice cars and sports cars and stuff like that. And what I will say is, you're not missing out on anything in a limo.
I just feel like I want the space.
Here's what I'll say. If you're from Ohio and you mentioned being white trash like myself, you will enjoy it because that's where we come from. But it's for white trash people. It's not something that like accomplished people need. It's literally, it's so hyped up that once, by the time you get there, it's cool because you're like, I've heard so much about this, but like as an adult, you're like, this is gonna be a letdown.
Are there seatbelts in it?
There's seatbelts. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a normal car, but that's the thing, is you don't really have to wear it, because the cool thing is the driver, like there is that window that's like where you're like, we're gonna leave, we're gonna have some privacy back here.
Why do I feel like it's like a two-way, like what is it, a two-way mirror? And
that would be funny.
The whole time
it's a weird
all the weird shit you're doing back there.
He's just eating popcorn and he's just like watching all the like teenagers have sex on like prom. He's like, yeah, all right, here we go.
Never went to prom.
Didn't go to prom?
Didn't go to prom.
How come?
I was doing stand-up, actually.
Really?
By my junior year, I had just started doing stand-up, and I was like starting to travel to new places. And I think one year I had a show like in Atlanta, and the next one I had a show in like Indiana. So I just never went.
So you started stand-up at 16, right?
15.
At 15. And so by this time, you're already a couple years in. You're already doing shows in different states a couple years in?
Yeah, I got lucky. I got my first manager who owned a comedy club in Atlanta. Like he found me on Twitter when I was like 16.
Wow.
On some Scooter Braun shit.
Now, did you have, when he found you, did you have did you have like a clip up on Twitter or something at the time?
I had just did my first guest spot for DL Hughley, who at the time if I'm being honest, didn't really know who he was. Like, I had no idea he was like a king of comedy. You know what I knew him from? Soul Plane.
Hey, man.
When I saw him, I was like, dude, I love Soul Plane.
What did he say?
He was like, never say that again.
Yeah.
He's the bathroom attendant in a very okay film led by Kevin Hart. Before he was Kevin Hart. And I just did my first guest spot for him. And I had like posted a clip to YouTube. And then this was when Twitter was like, you could talk to anybody because nobody was really on there.
Right.
So like I would just like, this is also how I met who we'll talk about later. So I was just like going back and forth with DL on Twitter, like just joking back and forth with him. And my manager had followed DL, so he saw this exchange, and he hit me up and was like, "Hey, I own a comedy club. Would love to fly you and your mom out here for a weekend and just kind of meet and all that kind of stuff." And didn't get sold into human trafficking, so it's a W.
I think that manager. I think he's actually on the phone right there. I think he's actually calling in right now.
Hey, this is Gary. Is Matt there?
Yeah, this is
Hold on, real quick. That's so offensive immediately. I've been working on trying to get bass in my voice for so long.
No, this is a 15-year-old Matt. Yeah.
What's terrifying is when I had first met you, that's probably exactly what I sounded like.
Probably. Do you remember that one show that we did? This was a long time ago.
At the Improv?
Not at the Improv. We did one. It would have been maybe after the Improv. Years later at the La Jolla Comedy Store. Do you remember that show?
No.
Dude, it was like me and you and I forget the other comic. We were all co-headlining. It was such a weird show.
I vaguely remember this. The first memory I have was you and I both had a JFL audition at the Hollywood Improv at like 3 p.m. on like a Monday or Wednesday.
Okay.
It was just the comics that were performing.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And that's it.
Yep.
And it was miserable. I don't think either of us got it.
Oh, no. It took me so many showcases before I got JFL.
When did you finally get it?
Just like a couple years ago.
Fuck, man, I'm so jealous.
Yeah.
Dude, they went from like, they would let me audition, and like the past 4 times I went were like phenomenal sets. My second to last time I went, I got a standing ovation at my callback.
Oh my goodness.
Still didn't pick me.
Don't you love that you can just crush that showcase and sometimes they're like, not what we're looking for this year.
Yep. Fast forward to 2 years later, not much moved in my career whatsoever. They go, he's past that now. Well, if I'm past it, let me do it.
Yeah.
I just want to come to the festival.
Oh, of course. So you ended up not doing it.
I've never been, no.
So I backdoor, literally everything in my career has been a backdoor. Like, how'd you get that? It's like, it's not the conventional way. I went to JFL for 4 or 5 years in a row of not doing stand-up, but doing other shows at the festival before they invited me.
Like what kind of shows?
Stand-up.
Like,
we did Roast Battle, we did the Comedy Jam, I did my improvised stand-up show, Stand Up on the Spot there, which is technically those are the steps of what you do after you do stand-up. But literally, they were asking my manager, like, why does he even want to do it? And I said, I want to be seen for my stand-up. I want, the other stuff is great, and I'm grateful that I'm here for this other stuff, but you guys haven't even really given my stand-up a chance.
Yeah.
And then finally I got it a couple years ago, and then it didn't do anything for my career.
Really? Nothing?
No.
I mean, it's not what it used to be.
Who knows, though? You never know. It could have led to some other stuff.
I mean, at least you're on, like, maybe certain people's radar now, whatever that means.
Certain clubs, I will say, when I headline there on weekends, they're like, I remember your JFL set and I really loved it.
No way.
So maybe that helped with booking down the line or something like that. You never know.
I mean, it used to be like, if you went and you had a good set,
show.
like you get a fucking TV deal. Yeah.
But is Gary still on the line over there?
Let's check and see.
Okay. Hello, Gary?
Oh, thank God. I thought they canceled my phone line. I've been on hold for like 6 minutes. Is Matt there?
Yeah, let me go grab him.
Hey.
Matt, you sound the same.
Hey.
How are you, buddy?
I just had some milk and I woke up from a nap. What's going on, Gary?
Well, that's the recipe for a strong boy, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get some strong bones, yeah.
I just want to say I'm so proud of how far you've come from sleeping on my couch and not getting not getting taken advantage of in the Atlanta comedy scene. Have you ever been to Atlanta?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so you'll understand the segment. Okay. You come a long way from doing shows next to a strip club when you were 16 years old and us not getting arrested for child endangerment. And I'm really, really proud of you, man. I wanted to say that.
Oh, thank you. Wait, what year is this? Because I was thinking that it was like 15 years ago.
Oh, we're in the past.
10 years ago. That's what I thought.
Oh, I'm calling you on a landline.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then I think that
Wait, are you interested in my talents? Is that...
Sure.
Well, what timeline are we on?
This is more like a Rick and Morty universe. You kind of just bounce around to wherever you feel like it.
Okay, well, because, yeah, my voice gets a little bit deeper over the years.
You sound hot.
Funny fact about...
That's always a great closer on the phone is, you sound hot. Click.
Funny fact about him, and I feel comfortable sharing this because he's much more proud and open about it now.
Yeah.
But Gary is gay.
Okay.
And being from Ohio, I didn't know any gay people growing up whatsoever.
That's how it was in Kansas for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's
until
culture
you
shock.
look back later on in your life, and then you're like, oh, I had friends that were gay and stuff, or I went to school with people who were gay, but they just hadn't come out yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like there weren't gay people there. It's like you're just oblivious to it because it's not talked about really.
Yeah, we had one kid that everyone was like, that kid's gay, but it was just bullying, you know. And now he is gay, so I don't know if he bullied him into it, and he was like, this must be easier to go with the flow, or if we all just kind of called it. But we should have gone about it that way, but also not wrong. But Gary was like the first gay person I'd ever met, but I didn't know he was gay.
Okay.
He had this partner at the time who, when I first went down
his partner at the agency.
That's what I thought. It was just this guy.
Yeah.
It was a handsome guy.
Yeah.
And he was also there when I flew down there to meet him at the comedy club, and they were like, I thought they were business partners.
Yeah.
So I went down there.
Oh, they begin some business in it. You know what I'm saying?
My mom called it so fast and was like, oh, they're a cute couple. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Mom, what are you? You're so weird.
I was like, no. I was like, they just dress well. What do you mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I didn't even know about fashion. I was like, no, they just fuck with neck scarves. Like, they're not gay. They just love bracelets, you know?
They can't be men who are just well groomed.
Dude, I was so oblivious.
Yeah.
I was lucky to that experience of going to Atlanta at such a young age was so good for me as a person, because I mean you understand, getting like, how many of your friends stuck in Kansas are still like the exact same people? They don't know much more, that I haven't experienced much more of life. Like, it opens you up drastically, which is what I needed for comedy.
Oh, I
sure.
mean, it's vital. Otherwise, you don't grow. Well, also, not only you don't grow as a comedian, but you don't grow as a person, because you're seeing, you know, it's focused like the magnifying glass on like that ant, you know, like that's all you're seeing is that one beam of light your entire life.
Oh yeah, not to get super deep, but if I think the meaning of life is to learn and experience as much as you possibly can in your lifetime. I think it's the whole purpose.
Well, that was one of my questions, was what is the meaning of life? So you jumped the gun and you answered it.
Were you really gonna ask? Oh damn. Okay. Oh, sorry. I tried to make it serious, you guys.
No.
It's also fuck bitches get money. So you kind of choose your own path.
On Jeremiah Wonders, guys. If you were wondering what the meaning of life is, Matt Rife.
What do you think it is?
What
do you think it is?
What do I?
Try to put you on the spot.
Ooh, what do I think the meaning of life is? You know, it's hard to say what I think the meaning of life is. I think is to experience new love and grow with other people, and evolve as much as you can as a person from one point in your life to the end of your life.
That's such a husband thing to say. Oh God, it was beautiful. I can't stand it.
Yeah,
to
man.
evolve. You think it? That's interesting.
I think that we are put here with, you know, it's kind of like how it's the culture shock thing of like being a Midwest kid and like moving to California. I think that is supposed to happen for everybody. I think you're supposed to be born in one environment. It's like having a turtle. Have you ever had a turtle?
No, I had plenty of friends.
Okay, perfect. We'll get into that later. If you put a turtle in a certain terrarium, okay, if you put it in a little aquarium, certain like red-eared sliders and stuff, will not grow if you put it in a confined space. They literally, their bodies won't grow. But if you put a turtle in a giant place, it literally grows to a huge size. The same species of turtle. And it's a constant thing. So I think that we're supposed to be the turtle that is put into the bigger terrarium, and we're supposed to experience and grow throughout our life and change like through that way.
Interesting. I thought that was about sharks. I think we followed the same random facts page on Twitter.
Oh, sharks, same thing.
I think so. Yeah.
There's probably multiple animals that are like that.
My uncle owned a shark when I was a kid. He had it in a fucking like a big ass fish tank.
Yeah, dude.
And we're back to white trash.
Oh, dude, absolutely.
Dude, it was like a full shark in there. In like a
we got a great white trash over here. Let's go. Let's go, dude.
Bro, it was like
call me out on my turtle saying I don't have friends, dog. You better check yourself,
dude,
bro.
Not only was this shark in my uncle's, it was like a 12-foot aquarium, and he had like a 12-inch TV next to it. Like, you can see where his priorities laid.
There's a VCR like installed in it.
And this is all in a trailer.
Yes.
Which I don't even think you can have animals in. I don't know.
You probably don't. You would probably need a permit or something to have a shark. I would think that you would need some kind of license or something, but who knows?
I don't know. Can somebody look into that? I'd like to know, actually.
Yeah.
Can you just own a shark?
Can you just own a shark? I mean, if you're wealthy enough, it would make sense, but like in a trailer, it seems like somebody like at those trailers who have like a leopard or something,
like
where
a
you're
Komodo
like, what
dragon?
Yeah, like how did you get this?
Of course.
It makes zero sense.
Somehow trailer park people have like no connections to get like a running car, but like exotic pets.
Always.
How?
I don't know, man.
There needs to be more shows about trailer parks.
I knew a buddy who like he had a cat that was like part lynx. I was like, how did you get this cat?
Did you see the video that was going around of the lady breastfeeding her cat on a plane?
I heard about this.
I saw a video, and I don't know if the video is real or not, but like she was kind of hot. Like I don't know if I would have interrupted it. Like the whole time I was like, what kind of nerd is gonna like snitch on this hot girl right now? Is that just pretty privilege?
You're like, listen, I'm a feminist, free the nipple, you know?
Well,
like,
look, I'm a cat.
You
He's
do
a cat.
you.
You
Yeah.
know, she's like making this whole big deal about it. It's not a cat. It's a lynx. There's a huge difference.
Wow.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, a titty's a titty.
yeah,
and
you
it's
were a
out
dog
right
person
now.
before, and you're like, I'm a cat person. Now.
Yeah, I fuck with felines
Yeah, that's
for
pretty cool.
sure.
It's pretty
I'd
cool.
risk my 9 lives for that.
You said you met also through Twitter. I think you're hinting at it that you met our buddy Ralphie May through Twitter.
I did, man. Ralphie May was like one of the best mentors I could have ever asked for. I'll try to summarize a story.
I brought off before the podcast. I said if you have any Ralphie May stories, I'd love for you to share them on the pod. Just because anytime I have a friend who's a mutual friend of Ralphie, I just just to keep the stories alive and stuff like that. Anytime somebody comes on the pod that I knew that Ralphie knew, I'm like, oh, you got to share Ralphie's story.
Dude, he was just the best guy. And I had asked you, and you said the same thing everybody says. I asked you if you knew him, and you were like, yeah, he was just such a nice guy all the time. And he was. I first met him on Twitter around before I actually had met DL. And I was going back and forth with him. I was a massive Ralphie May fan. I didn't like think he was Chaz Boner or something. Like I wasn't like, were you in Soul Plane too?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I was a massive fan of his comedy, and he was going to do Hilarities in Cleveland, Ohio.
That's a great club.
Great club, and it's about a 3-hour drive. And I'm like 5 months into comedy, and I'm just like, hey, can I do a guest spot on your show? And he was like, yeah, come through.
Wow.
But at the time, I think I was maybe 16 at this point. My mom was the one having to like drive into shows and stuff. So like she doesn't know anything about this. She thinks she's driving to Cleveland to like drop me off with this dude. And so she's like making me ask him all these questions. What time do I need to get there? How long? Like, do my parents need to do anything? I'm like bombarding him with questions. And even I was like, this is annoying.
As a comic, now that we're in that place, the patience and how nice that is for him to walk you through all that and be like, no,
It's fine, man. Don't worry.
Well, the thing, that sounded exactly like 15-year-old me.
Where, man?
Dude, why am I Ralphie May at 15?
Man, no, this is Ralphie May, man.
It's so offensive. He wasn't as patient as I had hoped. He actually said, hey, man, I think it's maybe best you don't come.
oh, because you were asking him so many questions?
Yeah, he was like, I think it's a bit too much.
Yeah.
So he like basically took me off the show.
Put the kibosh on it.
Dude, I was devastated. I don't think I talked to my mom for like 2 weeks. I packed a bag. I was like, I'm running away.
Probably the amount of questions, he's probably like, oh, he's not even mentally there yet.
Yeah.
Like if he's asked me like, hey, like where's my mom gonna sit? You know, stuff like that.
It was all stuff like that. Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, like you're a little bit too green. Like I want to help you, but like you are like bright green right now.
Dude, I was devastated, but I kept in touch with him from time to time, and like maybe 6 months later, he's doing a theater in Youngstown, Ohio. And he was like, if you want to do a guest spot on this one, come through. So my mom drives me up there.
Wow.
It's my first time seeing a tour bus. His tour bus is outside with his face on it and everything. We go inside of the theater. I've never performed in a theater before. It was like, I think maybe 800 people. It wasn't huge, but it's a lot of fucking people.
Theater for a 15-year-old comic?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was terrifying.
Yeah.
And so he had me go up. I did like 7 minutes, and it went okay. And he hands me $100 bill, and it was the first time I'd ever been paid for a show ever. And he was like, Sam Kennison was the first person to ever pay me to do a guest spot, so I wanted to return the favor as long as you promise to do the same for somebody else in your future. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And from that point on, we just we kept in touch. And I'm sorry, leaving out a very important detail. At this same show, so I must have been 16, and I had told him like, I want to move to LA and do this, and he told me, he was like, don't move to LA until LA is like begging for you to go there.
Yeah.
So when it was time for me when I graduated high school early, and I told him like, hey, I'm about to move to LA. He was like, I don't know if you should. I think you should work in Ohio, like, you know, fucking reach the ceiling in Ohio first. Yeah. And then when it's time, you'll know when it's time to go out there. And then when I moved to LA and things actually started going my way, and he was taking me to like, I didn't have any money. I was sleeping on couches, so he would like take me to go get lunch, and he'd make me order like 4 meals. So that's what I would have stuff to take home with me. Just the nicest guy, and he would be like, I was wrong. To hear him say that was like, he felt so proud, and that was so warming to have somebody you look up to so much give you that kind of acceptance, I suppose.
Yeah.
And from that point on, we just were great friends. We hung out around LA plenty of times. And he would always, whenever I was still living in Ohio, he used to let me, because he had a place in Nashville as well, around by Zanies.
Yeah.
He would let me drive down there, where I would take a Greyhound bus from Columbus to Nashville. And then he would let me sleep on his couch, and he would always pay me like a good amount extra for the holidays, so I could like buy my family presents and stuff like that. Just the nicest guy. Took me on my first tour bus tour when I was 19, paid for me to get my teeth done.
What? He paid for you to get your teeth done?
Well, the money he paid for me, it gave me on tour, I used for that.
Did you have messed up teeth
Dude,
before?
I had Ohio teeth.
Interesting.
It was
I was
bad.
literally just about to ask you, I was curious if you had awkward phases growing up as a kid.
Oh, yeah, dude. I didn't lose my virginity till like 3 months before I moved to LA.
Whoa, getting that Ohio in.
Oh, and I thought it was like the best ever. And you moved to LA, and you're like, what was I doing? Like, I was in danger.
That was in Ohio 3.
Dude, I had no... Yeah, like, are you from like a relatively small town?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from the city part of Kansas City, so like I wouldn't say it's like a small town.
Well, like you move away from that town.
In comparison to like LA or some of the bigger metropolis cities, like in Atlanta or something like that, it's a smaller city.
The girls you thought were so hot in high school, you were like, this is like the baddest chick in the world.
When my middle school and high school, I was like, these girls are unbelievable.
Oh yeah, you moved to LA and you're like, those girls couldn't be these girls' assistants. Like bro, it's a culture shock. Do not come to LA if you're not willing to risk it all. Okay,
I mean, that's true.
It's so many hot girls out here, and that's what TikTok.
And you've been plagued with a few that you've been in relationships with, my friend.
Yeah, I know.
You've had some lookers.
I know.
You've had some females that I've had crushes on.
Well, you know, you got to be careful. Careful what you wish for is what I'll say.
Yeah.
But like, there's more. I hate that I've had to learn this lesson so early. I mean, it's obviously has its perks.
Right.
But like, it's made me realize like you really do have to have a connection with somebody if you're going to date them. Because I slept with one girl before I moved out here. When I moved out here, I was like, I'll fuck anything. Any hot girl who will talk to me, like, please sleep with me, because you're the hottest thing I've ever seen. Every girl was.
Yeah.
But now I'm just like, ugh. How many times do you go to Tulum a year? Hot girls in LA fucking love Tulum, man. They go to Tulum like it's Ralph's. Like, you can't do your cocaine at home. There's so many turnoffs about hot girls now.
Do you think because you look a certain way that a certain kind of girl is attracted to you right away? Does that make sense?
I understand why you could think that, but hot girls don't really pursue, especially in LA.
Right, you still have to
everyone's
pursue.
coming to them.
Yeah.
Majority of the time. I mean, sometimes you'll have an instant click, you know, like sometimes if you approach a girl and she'll immediately like you back. Awesome. But no, not for the most part.
Hello, I'm Eli the Elephant, and Jeremiah Wonders is brought to you by Upstart.
Dope.
If you dread looking at your credit card statements, you're not alone. Debt can feel crippling, but Upstart can help on your path to financial freedom.
That sounds pretty sick.
Listen, I hate borrowing money from friends, especially from elephants, because they never forget the amount you owe them. Upstart is the fast and easy way to get a personal loan to pay off your debt, all online. Whether it's paying off credit cards, consolidating high-interest debt, or funding personal expenses, over 500,000 people have used Upstart to get a simple fixed monthly payment. Upstart finds smarter rates with trusted partners because they assess more than just your credit score.
Assess.
With just a 5-minute online rate check, you can see your rate up front for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. You can get approved by the same day and can receive funds as fast as one business day. If debt has taken over your life, it's time to get a fresh start with Upstart.
I'm starting to think this is exactly what we all need.
Find out how Upstart.com can lower your monthly payments today when you go to Upstart.com/Jeremiah. Don't forget to use my URL to let them know I sent you. That's Upstart.com/Jeremiah. Loan amounts will be determined based on your credit income and certain other information provided in your loan application. Go to Upstart.com/Jeremiah.
Yeah, what the elephant said. I had an idea for a segment that I thought would be pretty funny.
Oh, shit.
And it does involve wigs. Okay.
I thought so. There's so many wigs around here.
There's a lot of wigs. And you're not even seeing. Do you see those bins?
Yeah.
There's tons of wigs in there. Like tons
It
of
feels
wigs.
like there's whole bodies in there.
There's bodies of my different characters in there. There's literally full wardrobes and wigs of my different characters from over the years in those bins.
Can I say the first thing I respected about you when I moved to town before I even knew you was how much you can commit to characters in improv, because I don't have that ability whatsoever. I got demolished like my second time ever on stage. I tried to do like a commitment to an act out and it fucking bombed. It scarred me for life. So the fact that you can do that is amazing.
Do you remember the act out that you did?
Not like the specific joke, but it was a crying bit.
Okay,
where
great.
it was like I end up on the ground.
Oh, dude, anytime you end up on the ground, that's heavy commitment.
And you have to get up in silence.
Oh, yeah.
You want to kill yourself. There's no worse feeling than like I'm on the floor and they're laughing so hard and then just like. So I was at school the other day, like, bro, it was the most embarrassing moment of my life.
So do you avoid doing act out based stuff because, partially kind of like a skiing, snowboarding thing where you're like, I had it real rough that time and I don't think that that's my thing.
Now I'm getting more comfortable because I'm starting to learn my voice more with stand up.
Sure. And you've been doing it a long time now too. So
yeah, I have a pretty good sense of like, this is going to be funny this time.
Yeah.
And obviously we go home and write the shit out.
Right. Okay, so this is the bit idea that I had. Okay. This next segment is called Wig. Have you seen the movie She's All That?
Yeah, where they turn like a ugly girl hot, right?
Right.
Okay,
great. We are going to do a reverse She's All That.
No.
So, we all have eyes. We know you're a handsome guy. All right.
Man.
The viewers see it. I want to make you ugly.
Dude, what if my career flourishes after this? Do you have any idea how divisive that's going to be for me?
I want to make you ugly. And here's the thing. Because I'm going to make you ugly, you're going to give me pointers on how to become more handsome.
Okay. Is there like a time cutoff? Is there... So
listen, man, I only got so much time with you.
Look, I was saving these for roast battle, but I've got some notes as to how we can step it up. Oh my God. Wow.
Okay.
Low-key, feel like I'm pulling it off. Is that conceited to say?
Okay, I'm gonna
like Captain Planet.
I'm gonna. Yeah. Okay. I mean, this is gonna be. I have my work cut out for me to make this man look ugly.
Hey, real quick, this better not be the thumbnail. Okay, I swear to God, if this is the clickbait photo, I'm gonna be furious,
bro. I don't know how to tell you.
Oh my God. Okay.
Okay. Now there's some glasses that are underneath there as well. If you can reach those. So you definitely look like a librarian. You got some librarian energy
I look
right
like
now.
I don't like Dave Chappelle's comedy.
I mean, that's pretty accurate. That's pretty accurate. Okay. Do you know how to cross your eyes?
Yeah.
Okay. We're getting somewhere, people.
Now it just looks like I'm about to bust.
Okay.
Oh, it hurts.
That's your bust face.
If you don't go cross-eyed when you bust, you're not really trying. What's that one breed of penguin? You got that going on right now. Low-key, I've been trying to do that with my hair for months and I can't get it. So God bless you.
Okay.
All right. So you got the hair.
All right, I got the hair.
Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take your underbite just past the teeth. There you go, to enhance the jawline a little bit.
Oh, enhance it.
No one's going to question it. They're just going to think that's a solid jawline. They're not going to see the underbite.
So like this?
You're going to want to... Sorry, I had to take these off to see you better.
Right.
Now you're going to want to squint your eyes. There you go. But you don't wrinkle the forehead. Now you want to leave the mouth subtly open. Like there's like you just like a little dick.
Yeah, just like a little one.
Dude, are y'all as hard as me right now? This is solid. That took no work at all. Are you kidding me?
Hey guys, what's up?
If you cared what people thought about you, you could be a really good looking dude. Do you understand? It's not far. It's not far. You're so close, but you're like, I'm gonna be funny instead. Come on, man. If you weren't nice and funny, you'd be really good looking.
Dude, that's one of the funnier roast jokes I've heard about me. That is so freaking funny. If you cared about what people thought about you, you might actually be good looking.
You're so close, man.
Okay, now
you can pull this hair off too, by the way.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. These two need to have a conversation now. Okay.
All
right.
Okay.
Hey, I was wondering if you could maybe make yourself scarce when Jennifer comes over.
I was just kind of wondering if I could watch you guys again.
Okay.
I won't make any noise this time.
Darren, you weren't invited the first time, okay? And if I told her that you were there, then she'd probably never see me again. So.
Well, you don't know that for sure. She thinks I'm really funny and a nice guy. You're not the only person who knows how to talk to girls in this house, Brennan.
Listen, I don't know how to tell you this, but she was being a sweet girl, all right? She doesn't think you're funny. She doesn't think you're nice. You're creepy, man.
Literally, how am I creepy? I stayed in the corner, in the shadows. I didn't touch anybody. I didn't make any noises. It was just me and Pamela Anderson on our own little date. You guys just happened to be in the same room, okay?
And I commend you for, being stealthy and not making noise. But when I was mid-stroke, I heard you sneeze a little bit one of the times.
I have allergies. You know that. I forgot my Claritin in the car.
Yeah. You were huffing on your inhaler, and then luckily
I was excited.
It luckily timed out for when we reached our peak. So.
Look, just because you have luscious blonde hair and a formidable underbite doesn't mean you can talk down on people like me. I have a girlfriend too, you know.
What's your girlfriend's name? It looks like you're thinking of it right now.
No, I was thinking about some other stuff earlier. From the her name is Michaela Wiggins.
I've never met a Mike Kayla before.
Well, she's never met you either, fucking turd.
What did you say?
Nothing.
Listen, you got to stand up for yourself. You're my brother, okay?
I have scoliosis. I can't stand up for myself, okay? This is my permanent posture.
Wow, this got real. I didn't realize that.
Dark. No disrespect to the scoliosis community. There we go. And back to looking like I vape. There we go.
There it is.
Oh, I missed you.
Dude, you just did that handsome guy mirror look thing.
Making sure my jaw's still there.
Dude, are we still good? Okay, cool.
Thank God.
Still accented?
Oh my God, I thought I didn't have a neck for a second.
You've been you box a lot, right?
I do.
How long you been boxing?
A couple years now, like consistently for like 3 years. I love it. You ever been?
I have I've been to Jamar's boxing gym. I didn't get in the ring or anything. We just worked out there one time, and he about killed me with his exercise.
Dude, it's the best workout ever. He fought a dude. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
They were doing like a comedian boxing league
I
or
would
whatever.
not want to step in the ring with Jamar.
They asked me to be a part of it. I was like, why? Why would I do that?
You're like, why would I? Come on, I do this for fun. Come on.
You guys have nothing to lose facially. Awesome. Well, some of us have an entire career based upon up here. Okay?
Right.
I'm not
right,
doing it.
Right.
Also, I have plenty of people who want to punch me in the face, so I'm not going to give them an excuse.
Yeah, I feel like that's a weird excuse. Like, hey, Matt, you want to join this league? We'd
But
love to have you, man.
Yeah, they created the league for that. And then when I said no, they were like, stupid idea.
Yeah,
I don't
you're
wanna do it.
you know, it got postponed due to COVID. Don't worry about it. Yeah,
It was during COVID, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah?
Yeah. And
I knew some
like,
boxers and some jiu-jitsu people who did not give an F.
No, I started doing jiu-jitsu at the beginning of COVID because it was like a small gym.
Sure.
And I did it for a couple months, learned some really cool stuff, but I had to stop, man. It's
Too hard or not your sport?
Dude, it's just... It's kind of fucking gay, man. In a non-offensive way, it's
You heard it here,
it's
man.
very gay. Like
Oof.
it's just the biggest, sweatiest dudes who for sure did not shower in the past 2 days, just dick up against you for hours. And they don't like pair you up with somebody your own size. It's just like with anybody.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like rolling around with somebody who stinks, and they're like 6'5", 245, dick on my shoulder. I'm like, I don't need this.
Right.
For what?
I'd rather hit from a distance like this.
Yeah, I'd rather kiss a man on the mouth. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna do it, why beat around the bushes?
Have you ever had to do that for a scene in a movie or anything like that?
I did have to.
What was that like? And what was it? What is it? A TV show? Was it a movie? What was it?
Dude, this is so bad. It was for a short film that never came out. Yup.
Dude,
all the things you do in Hollywood.
Dude, all the people who are listening or watching who just heard you say jujitsu's gay are so happy right now.
I know.
You're like, it's for a short film that didn't come out. And we found out the cameras weren't rolling.
Bro, I did it for this producer who was like, he was one of the producers on Southpaw boxing movie, actually.
Okay, yeah.
And super gay, obviously. And he ended up like getting like Me Too for some shit, I think. So like the movie like never came out. But I tell you what's worse. By the way, the experience was just clarifying. I had never kissed a dude before, but now I know for sure. Not my thing. You can tell. It's a dude.
Right.
But I found out the dude who I had to kiss for that, I ran into him at some event like maybe 3 years ago. This was like 6 years ago. This happened.
Was it chiller or was it that moment like seeing an ex like, hey, what's up? I didn't know you were going to be here.
More awkward than that, I didn't remember him, and he remembered me so much.
Oh.
Which was like kind of flattering, you know? So I'm talking to him. We talked for like 15 minutes.
Okay.
And immediately I find out, I'm like, oh, he's like, oh, my girlfriend's here. I'm like, you're not gay? And he was like, no, are you? And I was like, no. And I was like, how much? So we started talking about the movie, and I was like, did you get paid for that or whatever? I mean, I got paid at least.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I wasn't getting paid. I was just like an extra. And I was like, hold on. Why'd you do the movie then?
Yeah.
You had no lines.
But he got bumped up for a scene to do a kissing scene? Like, what was the context of the scene?
The context was like, I don't know I'm gay, and then I go to like a gay club, and I meet eyes with this dude, and we fought, and he kind of like follows me into the back room, and like and then we just start kissing.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Well, can't cancel me for being homophobic.
There you go,
Got it
man.
under my card now.
You got it.
And we kiss, and so I'm asking him, like, why did you do that? He was like, I was new to LA. I just needed some kind of experience, like something to like put on a reel, I guess.
Interesting.
And so yeah, he did this. It's like I felt used. That I'm like, I didn't get paid that much for a movie that never came out. I put myself in a relatively uncomfortable situation.
Yeah.
But you know, it's fucking acting. You know.
Sure.
This guy got nothing out of it whatsoever. Like I felt so bad that he got used for that. He was a good-looking dude.
He got a memory.
He got a good kiss.
You forgot it. You like deleted it from your memory.
Immediately.
And he's like, Matt, I've been thinking about you for a long time, man. And you know, I don't want to call this fate, but why are we both at this movie premiere right
Oh man,
now?
if we met at another gay club, like in real life, we ran into each other like the Abbey, then I'd be like, well, now I feel like we have to
He's
revisit.
like, it's a sign. You're like, listen, man, I'm just trying to hang out at this gay bar and have a
I'm just
chill
trying to get
time.
some free drinks, all right?
Yeah.
So if you're not buying, deuces.
Yeah, see you later, man.
Nice guy. I don't remember how we got on this topic.
For whatever reason, I asked you if you ever had done a scene in a movie. I don't know what sparked that question, but we were talking about something. Yeah.
We got gay real quick.
Yeah. Let's get into this next segment. It's called Fanning Out.
Oh, okay.
Fanning out. Questions from fans.
I asked if people had any questions or scene suggestions.
Yeah, most
for
of them
us.
were mean.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna say there was way more trolls than usual for when I post, and I think that's probably one of those things where handsome guy, you probably get some haters out there.
Yeah,
You're used to getting that with being a guy who is probably better looking than the average comedian. You probably get that online sometimes.
Yeah, all the time. I love when people are like, "Oh, this guy gets so much Botox or his lip filler." I'm like,
I saw some of these, and you were most of the time. I purposely don't tag my guests just in case there's dickheads in the comments. But you engaged with a lot of these questions, and I was laughing reading your engagement with a lot of these.
Thank you.
Yeah, because I was like, I mean, that's one way to handle it, because it's like, yeah, haters are gonna hate. You
dude,
gotta
I
keep
have
on moving.
such a hard time not responding when people, because like if they're joking, like, dude, we're comics. Like I have a great sense of humor. Like I'm never gonna take anything serious.
Yeah.
But you can tell when somebody is just purposely trying to be a dick.
I know.
That's what bothers me. Like, I can joke back. Anybody, dude, I love getting roasted. It's my favorite thing.
If it's roasting, I don't care. I think it's funny. If it's people purposely being mean, lately I've just been blocking. I'm like, I just don't even want to see it. I'm like,
Interesting.
I'm
so confrontational. I have such a hard problem not being like, what's up? I have so bad. I need to work on it. But it's also like with the internet, people just feel like they can say anything. And I think that's the most unhealthy thing in human civilization right
Somebody
now.
put it really well to me that I liked a lot is, would you allow somebody to say what they're saying in your house?
Never.
That's why I'm like, I don't feel bad about blocking people. If I see something, I'm like, I would never have this conversation with somebody in real life. I literally never. So why do I subject myself to it? So I'm just like,
It's a great rule.
That's how I look at it. If it's funny or I'm bored or something, then there you go. Then I'll engage. But
Dude, my favorite thing that people will say whenever I engage is they'll be like, some comedian, you got all the time in the world to respond to haters or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I have all the time.
I'm a comedian.
Even if I had some of the time.
Right.
This is what I'm so happy using it for.
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
no
yeah.
problem with that. I can sleep till 2 p.m.
multiple people were actually curious about this. Zach._hacker. What's the best bicep workout?
He's got to hit them every day, man. Not every day, like every other day.
Is it a lot of curls every day?
No, I mix it up. My problem is I don't eat enough because I hate cooking, so it's hard for me to get gains,
enough
I
protein
guess.
and stuff like that?
Yes, so I spin my wheels a lot, but you want to do...
If I were to try to gain muscle...
That should be your next segment, is I just come in here and train you.
Right? What would you, looking at me from a training point, what would you be like, how do I gain muscle and weight? What would be the fastest way?
Well, everyone's just gonna be roasting me for not being like a personal trainer or a nutritionist. So what I'm gonna say is probably wrong. But if I were you, I mean, you just need to eat a lot of protein and a lot of calories and lift a lot of heavy weight.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Less reps, heavier weight, and eat
Really?
a lot. Because you're a really thin guy, so your metabolism's solid.
Yeah, dude, my stomach right now is literally going.
Dude, I'm so hungry.
Yeah, I got hungry
so
like
hungry.
while the podcast was going on. I'm constantly hungry.
Do you cook?
No. If I cooked, I would probably weigh a lot more. But there will be moments where if my wife doesn't go to the grocery store, she'll come home and she'll be like, "What have you been eating?" And I go, haven't been eating. And she goes, why didn't you get food? I was like, there wasn't anything in the fridge. I'm so bad about like fixing things.
I'm the same way. I'm so impatient. Like when I'm hungry, I'm like, I want to eat right now. I can't be like, I'll probably be hungry in like 45 minutes.
I know people who do meal prep, but it takes like a couple hours. I'm like, that's a couple hours. I love the taste of food, but for me, I'm like, I'd rather just be like, oh, just wait.
Yeah, I'm not a foodie at all. I'll totally just wait. I'm like, oh, I'll go somewhere or I'll Postmate something, which is such a waste of money. Only reason I want to be successful is to be rich enough to have like a live-in chef. That would be the dream.
That'd be pretty dope. A lot of questions on here.
Shoot.
How did you get connected with Elton Casty and his crew?
Oh.
Nathan Babb on Instagram.
Oh, what's up, Nathan? Elton is a good friend of mine. He's a professional. He's a YouTuber, very successful, millions of subscribers. Does very well on it. So he dabbles in stand-up as well. He does them from time to time. He used to do it a lot more. I think he's starting to pick it back up. So we met through a mutual friend. He was doing some YouTube video for like a prank, and he just needed some funny people. And it was like $200 for like a 3-hour shoot. So I was like, sure. So I went to that, and then the video went like super viral, and most of the comments were about me. So I guess I stood out for it. And from that, he just like threw me in another video, and then he started doing, and we started hanging out as friends a little bit. And then he started doing this. This might be an interesting topic. I'm interested to know your thoughts on it. He started doing this overnight channel, which is all ghost hunting. And because he has, there's a lot of money, he can afford to like rent out all of like the most famous haunted places in the country and now the world.
Does
like,
he still do that?
Yeah, we just went to London for like 3 weeks straight and went to like the most famous places in all of like the United Kingdom.
Frick?
It was amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Love that stuff. So when I saw he started to do that, I was like, yo, if I can never be involved. And he was like, I kind of have a team that I do it with. And somebody dropped out of it and there was an opening. So now I kind of add, humor to their thing. It's so much fun.
That's so cool. Did you see anything? Or did you feel anything?
Dude, some really weird stuff happened. I didn't know this about the United Kingdom, especially Ireland, but like so much of it is like demonic, like built on like devil worshiping. So a lot of places we went to were
there's
like
also
that.
a lot in Europe. There's a lot of different places that are haunted because there's a lot of tragedy that happened.
And so much, like so long in history.
Yes.
Like think about any place in America that you're like, this is old, it's probably haunted.
Right.
Dude, we were going to places that were like, these were buildings that are still standing today. They're like 1,000 years old. Like they're older than our entire country. So you think about any place that's old in America that's haunted, you go over there, everything's older than that. So like the odds of you living somewhere or being in a building and it not being haunted are pretty slim. But it was really, really scary, man. That we had some really creepy stuff happen.
Oh man,
so you guys can check that out. It's the TFIL overnight channel.
Yeah, when does that come out?
He releases a new video like every 3 or 4 days.
Okay.
We did the Cecil Hotel downtown after the documentary came out.
That's awesome.
They blindfolded me, turned off all the lights in the building, sent me up, like blindfolded me, put me on a random floor, gave me just a flashlight and a GoPro, and I had to like find them in the building.
Oh, that's terrifying.
It was terrifying.
Yeah,
it was so scary.
That's just scary.
Like Richard Ramirez lived in the building. Like it was terrifying, dude.
Yeah.
But so much fun. I don't know why I love it.
Did you feel anything there?
At the Cecil, not really. It just kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Obviously. But it was also like run down, so it's easy to feel creepy.
Right.
The stuff in United Kingdom though is like you feel things,
like a heaviness and stuff like that.
Dude, yeah. I didn't believe in that stuff at all, but like definitely felt some weird things, heard some things, saw some things. It's creepy.
Ooh. Oh my goodness. This guy asked, this is what's so funny to me about people who ask these questions sometimes. This guy said, how'd he land Kate Beckinsale? And then he said, right after you responded, you said, not questioning people in Instagram comments. And then Fern Smoking said, love the special. Watched it last night. So
this was the same person?
Same person.
So it's like it was a roast, and then I'm just kidding.
Kind of. I think it's more of like, I think sometimes people put stuff out there to
Get
see
you to
if you
respond?
can engage. I think that's a big thing. It's like, will
Gotcha.
this person respond to me?
Gotcha. Yeah. I mean, and if I don't know. There's no process for it. Sometimes I feel like it. Sometimes I don't. I don't know. Just don't be a fucking internet troll, and you probably have a better chance of getting anybody that you want. No girl is like, I fucking love trolls.
You know who I like?
My boyfriend talks so much shit
You know who I
online.
like is that guy who was talking crap in the comment section.
Oh my god.
He was so...
The way he called me a clown and the way he dragged that guy. Oh my
The way he said I had cellulite on my thigh, I was like, who is this guy? Oh, come over here.
The guy with like an anime profile picture whose name is just a bunch of letters and numbers.
Who has 3 followers but follows 10,000 people?
Bro, the fact that these people exist drives me insane.
Sax Talk.
When I was 16 years old, we were leaving the county fair, which was, like, it's Lollapalooza for Ohio people. And it's he and I, and we run into these 2 girls that we know, and we both have crushes on these girls, and it's late, we're all drunk on grape pop, not soda, pop. And they're like, hey, what's the move after this? And we're like, well, Cooper's parents are out of town, so why don't you come over to our place? You guys can crash over there. So we go back. Mind you, I'm a virgin hard. Like the kind of virgin where you're like, you telling everybody like, I fuck, dude. And we go back. Cooper brings up the mattress from their second bedroom into his bedroom, and he and his girl are on their bed, and me and this girl are on the floor bed. Romance. And it's not romantic at all. There's no rose petals on the bed. There's like Bud Light bottle caps. Like, it's trash. So we lay down and we're kissing and everything, and Cooper is kissing his girl up there, and I guess they're finally like, they're not going to do anything, so they just kind of go to sleep. So I reach over and I start fingering her. And at 15, you think, or at 16, you're like, oh, I'm killing it right now. But I was probably just like pressing an elevator button. There was no skill involved at all. That poor girl. So she reaches over and grabs me by my penis. Something I've never felt before. I was like, that's not my hand. I know my hand. And she starts giving me a hand job. And it feels incredible. I'm looking around the room. I'm like, how is nobody else getting to feel this? I want to wake Cooper up and be like, yo, you got to try this. And I liked her so much. I was very turned on by her. And I've never been touched by another human being before. So as I near the climax, I go, oh, something's happening. And I came so much. Even a Brazzers production crew would be like, oh my God, dude. It was so bad. Even she was like, oh. Like, I don't know if you've ever hit yourself in the collarbone before, but it's vulnerable. It's all over me. It's all over her. It's just a mess. And there's no paper towels or anything. I can't walk to the bathroom like this. So I take off one of Cooper's pillowcases. And I'm just kind of sham wowing it off of my body and off of her while whispering, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And finally, once this thing is just coated, what do I do with the evidence? So I panic and I slide it under his bed behind like some boxes of shit. Never told him about it. This might be the first time he ever hears about it. I don't know if he ever found it, but it's terrified to imagine that like 4 months later he was cleaning out his room and he just pulls out this sheet of pillowcase that is just solid. And he's gonna have no... I hope his first thought is, did I do this? And you didn't. It was your pal Matt. And that is the story of my first hand job. That poor guy. It was beautiful. Notes? It's a lot to unpack.
No, that was beautiful.
Dude.
I mean,
I felt so bad. It might still be under there.
the thing that's terrifying to me is not just leaving that, is more the smell over the years.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Because you don't think about cum smelling until it's there for a minute. And you're like, oh.
Nobody thinks about cum smelling until it's spoiled.
Oh my God.
Nobody thinks about it.
Cum is funny, man.
Because it's fresh. It comes out fresh. It comes out fresh and then, you know, and then later on you're like, why does it smell like sex in here?
Oh my God.
It's all happened to us.
Cum is why I hate shower sex. Like, I can't jerk off in the shower ever. You ever get it on your hand and you gotta like, in the shower, you gotta like.
Well, that's what the water's for.
Yeah, but like water makes it like stringy. It's like kind of gross.
Well, that's if you're doing this with it.
No, I'm not fucking testing the consistency.
You're saying it,
All right, when this is over,
it turns
go
into
jerk
silly
off in your
string.
shower, and I want you to look at it.
Bro, you're talking to me like I've never looked at my cum in the shower.
It gets weirder.
No,
That sounded
the things
immature.
that get weirder is when you fart in a hot shower and then the steam comes up and hits you in the face. That gets weirder.
That's
the cum
bad.
just goes.
No, it doesn't.
Down the drain.
It stays on you. Is my cum like venom? Like it just kind of...
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. It's a symbiote. You got that white venom suit. It's coming over you.
Blue-eyed white venom. That's the name of my dick now.
White venom. That's what you call cum, is white venom.
White venom. Oh.
Yeah, and just when you're about to bust, you're like, I'm going to give you that white venom, girl.
Oh my God.
Well, dude, Matt, this is a great way to close the pod. Matt has a 1-hour special that you can watch for free right now on YouTube. It's called Matt Rife OnlyFans. I highly encourage you guys to go check that out. I've watched the first part of it. I plan on watching the rest of it soon.
Thanks,
and it looks great. Sounds great. It's
What
awesome,
part
man.
did you turn it off? What part were you like, I'm gonna go to bed?
No, it was just, I was more just like doing my research before we did the pod today. And I liked your, I really liked the intro that you did for the special about kind of how the special came together and stuff like that.
Dude.
It was kind of a nice touch. It was like a nice personal touch.
When you did your special, did you do it through a production company? Because you did it all yourself, right?
Yeah, mine was different because when we originally filmed it, we weren't setting out originally to shoot a special. And we sold the concept later after we had filmed it, if that makes sense.
Shit.
Like I was planning on, when I originally shot it, I wanted to put out like either a I was thinking about like a part crowd work, part documentary, because I interviewed my family when I went back to Kansas. And then when the pandemic hit, I had filmed a bunch of material that I was like, this will take me forever to get that material back up and running. I was like, I got to release this now because. And so we put material, crowd work, and the family interviews, and the show was so bizarre that happened with my family there. I was like, I want other people to see this because this will never happen again.
Oh, of course, it's so unique.
Yeah, it's a
once in a lifetime show, man. It's incredible.
Yeah, so I was like, I want to put this out there for people. So obviously, the next special going in, I learned a lot from this one, business side and just like creative side of it. But like, I'm really proud that I put it out there and that people can see it. But check out Matt Rife OnlyFans. I gotta ask, did you call it that because people Google that a lot?
Yeah, it was a mix. So I mean, there's kind of a double meaning for it.
Yeah.
One side of it, what I wanted to do was for the marketing.
Right.
Obviously, I could do, if so many people fucking think I'm good looking or whatever, then it's like, it gives me an excuse to post like satirically sexy things,
Right.
and hashtag everything OnlyFans, which drives traffic to it.
Of course.
And I also, I have a lot of female fans and a lot of gay fans that are constantly asking, does Matt
Are you
Rife have
on
an
OnlyFans?
OnlyFans? So that Google search is
Right.
going to be number one.
Right.
And the other one is because I did this special through mostly a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for a network or a production company or anything. And the idea came to do this special because I felt weird about where I was in my career. Everything felt kind of stagnant. I was like, why isn't anything growing? And I was like, well, it's because I'm not doing anything. I'm not on a show right now. I'm not posting weekly clips. I was like, these people have nothing to be a fan of. So I wanted to produce a special for the fans. Like, it's not going to go on. I know Netflix isn't going to buy it. I'm not on their radar like that yet. Like, I wanted to put something out for the people who probably already know me. So it's for the fans, and then they helped fund it. The support I got for it was unbelievable. So I mean, it's also by the fans, and I gave a lot of them special thanks or producer credit in it because they helped out so tremendously. So yeah, it's a bit of both.
That's awesome, dude.
Thanks, man.
Matt Rife, dude, I had a blast having you on, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. And check out his special now, guys. Anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it. Please just go watch and share it. It's very different than what we did here today, so I hope you like it.
And that's what Jeremiah Wonders is all about, bringing the different out of people. Love you, brother. Thanks for being here.
Love you, man. Thank you.
Jeremiah Wonders.